Another note on the number one cause of mental illness: school. This is bad. A place where the law demands that you take your child to be taught lies and be made retarded and insane. See, lies are the opposite of reality. When you teach a person lies, you're teaching them to be insane, which is being out of touch with reality. And so all those people who were taught Columbus discovered America and all the other hundreds of thousands of lies walk around fractured people today with mental aberrations that they can't explain, that they can't handle, they can't counter because they don't know the cause, they don't know how it works. And it's really conflicting information, information that conflicts with your senses. Your eyes and ears are telling you one thing, but the information you were fed is telling you something else, and it causes a mental break. But right now, I'm concerned about, when things touch home. My grandkids are now in these schools. So now it's time, it's shut down time. I gave them fair warning, time to revamp the books, do anything. You know what they did? The same thing they always did. Try to come up with some contingency plan, some way to sidestep the whole deal. Just pretend it's not happening. They did the ostrich like they always do, stick their head in the ground and forget that their butt's sticking up in the air. So I guess I'll kick them square in the butt. Now, my grandkids, my granddaughters, okay, my child wants their child to be raised in a normal environment, have friends and all that. Don't want private school or private care and all this here, which seems real good on one front, all right? But then now, let's talk about the downside of this, all right? To plop your kid in an environment with 35 other kids in which someone may have not taught anything, who may be carrying communicable diseases and bed bugs. Okay, let's slow that down. I had to speak fast. People were approaching. Now, you take your child, wanting them to have a decent education. You don't want them in private school. You don't want them to be all prissy, and you don't want to give them home care because they won't have friends and be able to work in their world and interact with other people. Now, what we're talking about is the downside. All right, besides them feeding your kid lies and fantasies instead of reality, let's talk about the hazards of such a thing. In any public place, there is a germ factor of communicable diseases that makes public places the number one place you get sick. You know, the number one place you could get sick is the hospital, waiting room, lines in stores, public transportation, any public building, any public place. There are no safeguards for this. There's no one wiping down the chairs and handles and stuff for every 5 minutes. It's just not happening. That only happens in big nightclub restrooms. That's the only place where they keep the hygiene up, where you see an attendant inside the restroom constantly mopping and sweeping and wiping stuff down all night long. That's the safest place in the public that you can go to, a nightclub, a big nightclub's restroom. All right? The store is not safe, the counter is not safe. No standing in no line anywhere with other people is safe. So let's get back to the point at hand. You send your kid to school. Now they put them in a class with 35 other people, 35 other kids that may have contrary thoughts to what you're trying to teach your kid. They could be what you call bad. They can teach your kid languages that you didn't want them to learn yet, habits you didn't want them to learn yet. They can injure your kid because you taught your kid restraint and no one taught them. Um, they could have measles, chicken pox, tuberculosis. They can bring bed bugs to school. They can bring lice. They can on and on and on. And you plopped your child right down the middle of this, all right, and put them in high risk. That's public school, okay? Public school. Let me show you where you can see it in your own head. Public school is equal to public pool. Now, you already know the dangers in a public pool. public school is equal to public pool. Okay, keep that in your mind. Now, your kid's being made insane because a lie is the opposite of reality. To be out of touch with reality is the very definition of insane. So, like I said, all the people who were taught Columbus discovered America and all the thousands of lies are walking around here with problems in their head now because the information in their head doesn't match up with what their senses are telling them, with the new information that they came across either. It's in conflict in the back of their mind. Yeah. What causes these problems? Let me give you an illustration of a subliminal conflict. All of you are taught conflicting thoughts, which means you are given mental illnesses you are taught mental illnesses. They're spread by communication, by verbal. Okay, give you an example. You are taught no one is perfect. You're all taught this. No one's perfect. All right, and you believe this fact to be true. Then you're taught nothing's impossible. Okay, and you believe this fact to be true. Now, both of these cannot exist. They both cannot be true because if no one's perfect, then something's impossible. It's impossible to be perfect. And if nothing's impossible, then you can be perfect. But one of these is not true. And in the back of your mind, you're fighting this battle. Now you magnify that times the millions of lies and facts that have been put in your head. Now you're doing stuff and you're saying, I don't know why I did that. I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes. I don't know. Maybe I should go see a doctor. Yeah, I'm crazy or whatever. Yeah, the answer is yes, 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 and yes. Okay. Now, here's what is going on. Now, what is the solution? You solve these puzzles, all right, and it makes it go away, just like magic. But it's not magic, it's real. Like, I'm gonna give you an example of which one of these is true and which one is not, because you might not be able to find your way out of the maze with so many of these things in your head. You're not thinking clearly. Okay, now, clear mind says it like this. The one that is true is nothing is impossible. Everything we've ever imagined, we've been able to achieve. I've seen them flip the phones out on Star Trek when I was a kid and say, beam me up, Scotty. Now a flip phone is old. A little kid doesn't even want one. We're past that already. We're past what was the future to me. Okay? We're already, everything we imagined when I was a kid, poor people have it at their house. You know, not the rich people, the poor people have it at their house. All these imaginal gadgets that from when I was a kid have came into reality, and everything we think of we can do. Okay, the one that is not true is nobody's perfect. We do perfect all the time. All right, you can bowl the perfect bowling game, you can shoot the perfect pool game, you can throw the perfect dart. Let me give you an example of perfect. In brain surgery, you got to get it right every time. It ain't no sometimes we win, sometimes we lose, or we going. In brain surgery, you have to get it right every time. There's no mistakes, no room for mistakes. No, oh, we can't get them all. No. In heart surgery, you must get it right every time. There's no room for mistakes. It's perfect every time. We do perfect. We do perfect all day long. People are doing perfect right now. Perfect is attainable, very easy. All right, you can swing a perfect swing. You can run the perfect race. You can do pretty. You can do perfect. Perfect is doable, and that nobody's perfect stuff is just a blatant lie. It's a faulty program that's been put in your head. It's making you crazy because it cancels out you wanting to know that nothing's impossible. It makes it hard for you to believe because you have this other stuff fighting back here that says that can't be true. But you're not aware of it on a conscious level. But it's all happening down here on a subconscious level, which means everybody's subconsciously insane. The reason the psychiatrist can't help you, all right, because he's dealing with your conscious mind. Here's the game that psychiatrists are running, all right? It's a money scam. He has the same problems you have. He can't control his whorish daughter or his drug addict son either. Okay? So He has the same problems as you. So you're going to lay down on the couch and ask him for help. Here's what he's going to do. You're going to ask him a question, and he's going to say, what do you think? He's going to have you there answering your own questions. He's never going to answer you. He's never going to give you any answers. All right? He may give you an example of some other patient, but he's never going to give you any answers because he doesn't have any answers. He's going to, when you leave, he's going to go lay on the psychiatrist's couch himself, who isn't going to give him any answers, who's going to go lay on another couch, and then on into infinity, because they don't have any answers, because they're all subconsciously insane. A concept that is not even on their books at Harvard or Yale, Princeton, or anywhere. None of this is on the books. Here's a person on the street that had to come tell college professors of English the meaning of ignorance. Where does that happen at? They down to some they're professors of English, and they did not know what this word means. They're saying they associating it with stupid or dumb or something that is not nowhere near the meaning of the word. All right, it is the past tense word of ignore. Oh, you know, ignore, ignoring, ignorance. All right. Now, where it got the meaning of stupid, dumb, I mean, who knows? But you're not supposed to be a professor of English and not and make these boo-boos. But we're straying from the point on a tangent. The point is, school is not safe. Don't want my grandkid there. I'll take my chances with homeschooling and them having a low friend count. Friends are overrated, you know. The more people you give a chance to do things to you that you have to forgive them for or punish them for, the less, you know. You know, it's not good at all. And so I want her to pull her out. I want him to pull her out. I want them to pull them out. Even if we got to build our own school, get the best teachers in the world, you know, instead of hiring, instead of a daycare, real teachers, real nurses, because we can afford it. I'm gonna make sure of it. Um, Public school, hell no, I wouldn't do it. It's suicide. No. You must hate your child if you do that. You're gonna fuck them up for life. Viable alternatives. That's what it's about. Everybody's saying, what are we supposed to do? Everything's hitting the dust. London bridges are falling down. The prisons, the schools, this part of the system, that part of one. No. Replacements. Transformation. Keep that concept. Not destroy and blow up like Las Vegas Casino and build another one. That's too time consuming. It's about transformation. Everything can be fixed. Everything can be fixed. It can be tweaked. It can be transformed into what it needs to be. There's no need to implode anything. Calm down. Teachers have to be screened. Anyone dealing with the public has to be screened for mental problems. Come on now. So this information has to be scanned and screened for for destructive components. Come on now. This is standard, man. You can do it to the machines, to the computers, but you can't do it to people. You can't. You're not even giving the people the same consideration you give your devices. All right, you clean them all the time. You put antiviruses in them. You're not doing that to your child. You're not cleaning your child's mind. You're not putting antiviruses in your child's head or yours either, or in your life, or in your home, or in your business, or schools, or whatever. And, you know, prison or anything. Come on now. It's not all on me. This is a we thing. It's not I, it's eyes. It's not just one, it's the ones.